Welcome back to my trying to conceive journey, part 2. I left off in the last video basically just talking about how we had been trying for a while. I had finally gotten my period and like regular cycle back. We were getting back into it with trying, and I was feeling really positive and optimistic, and it still wasn't happening. So we decided to take like a 2-month break. I just felt like I needed it for my mental health. I needed to not think about it. It can be so consuming, like compounds. Like the more you try to not think about it, the more you think about it, and it can feel like it's taking over all of your life. Like it's just seeping into every single part of your life. I needed to take a break. We had some trips planned. We had some fun things happening, and I'm like, I want to let's have some drinks, let's have fun, not think about it. So by the time April comes around, I was excited and optimistic to start trying again and get back into the swing of things. At this time, I really hadn't talked to my family or friends about it. Some of my friends knew, and like I had kind of made like jokes with my family and stuff, but I just didn't really feel like it was a problem yet, or that it really deserved the time to talk about, which was not the case. I'm an open book, but for some reason it felt really like vulnerable to start sharing, like, because once I said we were struggling, it almost felt like I was like admitting to it, and I think I was just in denial, honestly. Like I didn't want to have fertility issues. I didn't want to be someone who was struggling with fertility. And I just was like, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. It's gonna happen this month, it's gonna happen this month. And I continued telling myself that. And finally I was like, I need to let my friends and family in so they can like help support me. It's emotional. I'm feeling so alone, so lonely. And meanwhile, I hadn't shared anything online, on social or anything like that with my business page, Sweat and Tell. And so I'm like posting like workouts and outfit links and all this stuff. Meanwhile, I'm like, I don't care about any of this right now, to be honest. Like, there's so much going on in my life behind the scenes that is, like, to me, what really matters. And so I was feeling really conflicted and really, like, lost and alone. And we finally decided that it was time to start going to a fertility doctor. So a lot of the waiting lists around, I mean, probably anywhere, but especially in Orange County, it can be really hard to get into a fertility doctor. And luckily, I was able to get into the one that I wanted to see pretty quickly. It was actually quicker than I had anticipated. And so when I initially went in, I was like, is this like the right timing? Am I even qualified to be here right now? I know there's so many other people that are probably struggling more than I have. Like, should I really be here? It felt like a little bit premature, but in hindsight, I'm so happy that I had gone when I went. I started seeing a fertility doctor in June, so about a year later from when we first started trying. And it felt like such a relief, like a weight lifted off my shoulders, being able to go to the fertility doctor and all of a sudden feel like this responsibility of getting pregnant is no longer on just my husband and I. Like, it is so much to carry as a couple, and it really like tests your relationship. Luckily, I feel like Connor and I have like good communication, and we've been able to be like really strong through it and like lean on each other for support. But it's really hard on a relationship because a lot of people just have no idea what you're going through besides one another. And it's just hard. It's a time commitment, stressful, all of that. At first, we started just tracking my cycle naturally, which felt like a really good first step. And I was like, you know what? Maybe all I needed was to go to the doctor. It's like, you know, when you have like a sore throat or something, you go to the doctor and all of a sudden it disappears. It's like, maybe this is all I needed, was to just walk through the fertility doctor's doors and admit that there was something wrong, and then I'd get pregnant naturally. That wasn't the case. The fertility doctor had looked at all of our blood work and our lab tests and everything, and she's like, based on everything I'm seeing, like, you should be pregnant by now. Like, you should have been pregnant 6 months ago, which maybe to some people that wouldn't make them feel better, but to me, I was like, okay, I feel so much validation that like we're not doing something wrong. I should be pregnant, and now the responsibility is on her to help get us pregnant. Anyway, we tracked my cycle for a month, and I didn't get pregnant, which was of course a letdown, but you kind of start to get used to the letdown, like the negative pregnancy test month over month, the 2-week wait between ovulation and testing is just like so grueling, so anxiety ridden, but there's also so much hope, and it's just so emotional. So after that 1 month, when she like basically tested all my blood work throughout my cycle, it was really thorough. We did a lot of ultrasounds. I was going in constantly, it felt like. First thing in the morning, I would go there. It was like part of my routine. It still is. Then we decided that the next month we were going to proceed with IUI. I'll talk about the IUIs in part 3.